Hi, and welcome to FrazlCast. Climb aboard the Gnome Train.
Woo! Chugga, 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 woo!
Please make sure to keep your limbs and experimental instruments inside the train at all times. And now, on with the show.
A podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. I promise you, they do talk about the World of Warcraft. They just go off the rails sometimes.
I'm Frazley, and I am joined by Jenny Nitz. So I'm so excited to chat with you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. After I announced that you were coming on the show, Lucas tweeted out yesterday that when they heard you were coming on, they zoomed to your Twitch and started watching all of your content. And they described it as devouring the streams, like how N'Zoth takes their sanity in a horrific vision.
Oh my God. I have one big eyeball right in the middle of my forehead.
Me too. And they even tweeted out a cool picture of the project that they worked on. How does it feel to see people get inspired by what you do?
Oh my God. I'm scared to look at their tweet.
Well, on this episode, I want to get to know your gaming history, talk about your knitting, ask you about your Twitch career, and more. But before we get into that, though, Epicinsanity, what time is it?
It's time to go around the table.
Great idea. So what have you been up to recently? We'll start with you, Jenny.
Well, this week I've been, of course, playing WoW and raiding. I raid 2 nights a week. I've been grinding my legendary cloak and doing horrific visions.
Nice.
And I have been working on my bank tune, and I'm trying to get my second million. I've got my first million. I don't know what I'll buy, but I'm working on millions.
You already have the auctioneer mount.
I don't have it, but I have to get it before the next patch because they're taking it out of the game soon.
Yeah, we don't know how soon because Alpha just got put onto one of the servers that Blizzard uses for testing. So it could be the end of the year or it could be sooner than we think.
I know, I better hurry.
Yeah.
And I am knitting, of course. I'm working on a man's scarf while I'm streaming. And then on the side, I make a little project called Knitted Knockers for women who've had surgery and have had a mastectomy or a double mastectomy. And it's a little something that tucks inside their clothes to make them feel a little more normal. So I make tons of them.
Nice. How did you get started doing that?
I got started making the knitted knockers because in 2017, I had breast cancer and went through the whole year-long process of treatment and then ended the year with surgeries, and I had a mastectomy. So I was looking for a project where I could use my knitting and help women who've gone through the same thing. And I ran across the Knitted Knockers group, and they needed knockers. They fulfill orders all over the world, and they send out over 1,000 knockers every month.
Wow.
So I signed up with them to make knockers for women here in my town. And I see my cancer doctors twice a year, every 6 months. So every time I go see my cancer doctors, I take a big batch of knockers with me and leave them with them. And then they give them out to women here in my town.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's very rewarding.
As Cardicase says, it's such an amazing way to give back.
It is. It makes me feel good. And just knowing, that somebody who's gone through so much can just start to feel a little bit more normal with something so simple. It makes me feel good. Yeah.
So how did you get into knitting?
I got into knitting when I was a teenager, and I don't really remember how I learned how to start knitting. Both my mom and my grandmother did not knit. So I must have learned from school, like a summer camp or Girl Scouts or something. But I've just always been knitting. And I make all kinds of things, sweaters and scarves and socks and anything that's knit, I can make it. I started as a knitting teacher back in 2003. And I just loved teaching people. And I thought it would be fun to do that on the internet back then. So I started a YouTube channel, and I have instructional videos on how to get started knitting.
Nice.
Yeah. And then years went by, and then Twitch came around, and what do you know? I can knit on Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely. What is a project that you made that means the most to you?
I worked on this blanket called Persian Dreams, and it was super colorful and has a dark background, and the colors just really stand out. And I just have a thing for colors. And so it was a project that took me a couple of months to do, and I couldn't put it down. It was just so much fun to see the next color sequence that was going to come out. And I just love it.
I see a picture in the show notes of it, and this looks incredible. Are you able to see projects from the beginning?
I kind of do. It's kind of like when I'm cooking and I read through a recipe, I can kind of tell what it's going to taste like before I cook it. It's kind of the same thing. I can read through a pattern and I kind of know, oh, I think this will be beautiful. Just by reading through, I can kind of tell. I've been knitting now for 40 years.
Wow, nice.
So, yeah, just from practice, I've figured a lot of things out.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is one of the resources that you use most often?
Of course, the internet has thousands and thousands of patterns, and now I can buy yarn everywhere on the internet. So I don't have to just go to my local craft store. I can buy yarn from companies all around the world, and it's so much fun.
And you're able to dial in the color you want, the type you want.
Exactly.
Nice. Do you create patterns?
I've made a few little patterns like a scarf here and there, but I just don't feel like I have the talent to do patterns. It takes a lot of math. And I'm just not very good at math, but it's a great skill to have. I just sadly don't have it.
You find that your gift is in the creating and the teaching of it.
The teaching of it is where I really enjoy that. And I get to do that a lot on my Twitch channel.
What advice would you give to someone wanting to get into a craft like knitting?
I think they should do it. It's got such wonderful benefits. Besides getting to make pretty things that you get to give to your friends and your family, it's very relaxing. It's very meditative. If you got a lot of things on your mind, if you sit down to knit, all of a sudden things come to your mind that you never would have thought of just because you spend a few minutes calming your mind down while you're knitting. So it's very therapeutic.
It's interesting that you bring up streaming. And one of the things that's grown near to my heart is streaming. How did you get started streaming?
Back before there was Twitch, I used to watch Justin TV.
Oh, yes.
I used to watch a lot of the WoW streamers like Swifty and Towley, and there's a bunch of them. And when they went over to Twitch, I started watching them on Twitch. And for a couple years, Twitch was just for games, just for gamers. Even though I played World of Warcraft, I really thought there's no way I would ever stream. Who wants to watch a granny play World of Warcraft? So Twitch opened up a creative channel and people could do their crafts while streaming. And I thought, well, here would be a perfect way for me to teach knitting and learn how to stream. So I, watched a million YouTube videos and figured out how to do it and started in January of 2016. I started streaming.
My mom runs a bead store and does beading.
Oh, cool.
And around that same time, we started doing webinar classes. Our classes are private classes, but we usually go to meeting and we have people like in Israel. It's amazing how technology brings people together and brings teachers together.
That's so true. Yeah. On my broadcast, there's people all over the world that come hang out with me and knit and crochet, and we just chit chat about life, and it's amazing what it's opened up.
And would you say that it helps you and the viewer feel connected, even if it's through a computer screen?
It amazingly does. Somehow I can keep up with the chat, and I can remember what people are up to and what they've been doing. And so we just catch up with everybody, with each other every time I'm broadcasting. And we, of course, we have Discord and we show off our projects and our cats and our pets and things. So it's a really great way to meet a lot of people. And you probably don't know, but I'm an introvert and just kind of would rather not meet people in real life. So meeting them on Twitch still feels like I'm by myself in my office, but I'm talking to 80 people, which is wonderful.
I can definitely relate to that. I am more confident behind the mic on a camera than I am sometimes in person.
Exactly.
It is incredible the bond you build with the people that you talk to in chat.
I do. And having gone through all the breast cancer stuff, it really bonded me and my viewers together. I went through the whole treatment process and I continued to stream through each of the things that happened during that year. And the viewers were just so supportive and so encouraging. It kept me going.
That is awesome. You had a group who wanted to see your progress.
They even behind my back got together and a bunch of them knitted and crocheted little pink ribbons and tied encouraging notes to each ribbon. And then they compiled them all onto this banner and sent it to me. And it hung on my wall with everybody's little pink ribbons and notes of encouragement.
Wow.
It was wonderful. And they did that without even telling me, those little rats.
That's incredible.
It was so sweet. And they just have been there throughout the entire thing. Even when I was completely bald and streaming, they didn't make fun of me or anything. They just hung out with me, encouraged me.
Did you find anybody else who was going through the same and that you were able to bring them encouragement?
I have been able to warn, I guess, a lot of women to not put off exams and things like that. So it's been encouraging just to remind people, don't put it off, go get things checked when you need to, and better safe than sorry.
I love that connected nature of streaming. I had to tell my sister why streaming is fun. Like, you don't realize the people that you're connecting with, the people that you're meeting.
And so many people, I think, just want to have somebody to talk to and listen to. They don't need to come over to your house and hang out with you. They just want to listen. They just want to kind of lurk and listen. And I get a lot of little super encouraging notes from people who say how, just hanging out with the group and just listening to the conversation just makes them feel so much better about their life. So it's amazing the impact you have and you don't even know it.
You were mentioning earlier how Twitch used to be primarily gaming. Would you say that has been an obstacle that you've had to overcome doing knitting streaming?
I think so. Early on when I started streaming, like any other streamer, I wanted to be a partner. I wanted to be a Twitch partner one day.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, how in the world would a knitting broadcast ever have enough viewers to actually be partnered? And so we did a lot of things. And we had social eating streams and real life streams. And I did play WoW a little bit and just had so much fun on our stream. And the thing started growing and growing. And about a year and a half after I started streaming, I got the partner button.
Nice.
Yeah, I felt like, you got to be kidding me. A knitting stream just got partnered. Are you kidding me? So that was just one of the best things ever, to see that Twitch would open that kind of thing up to non-gaming folks,
Yeah.
That was encouraging.
What I find about creative streams, and it's why I wish I had the creativity that you do, is it's different than just gaming. Because, I mean, gaming streaming's, it's fun, but you're creating something that's going to last a long time.
Yeah. And what's fun too is, since all my viewers love knitting or crocheting, which is another craft that's very close to knitting, they all love yarn. I have had the opportunity to work with a couple of different companies that send free yarn to me, and then we do giveaways. So they are getting so much yarn, and it's so much fun to do a giveaway and know that the person who's getting the yarn just, they just love it.
That's awesome. I love that. So I understand that the day you became partner was also the day that you had to go to the hospital.
Yes, it's kind of weird to be so happy and then so scared all at the same time. Yeah, I had been diagnosed with breast cancer a month before I got the letter.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was still going through all the testing and all that kind of stuff. And then the first thing that you have to go through is they put this thing in your chest so you can start your chemotherapy. And so I got the letter on a Tuesday night that said, your hard work has paid off. Congratulations, you're a partner. And then the next morning I was at the hospital having my port put in. And then the day after that started my chemo. So I was pretty much kind of sick for my first year of being a partner. It was still such a good experience to go through with all my viewers.
Would you say that the streaming and the community helped give you that strength that you needed?
For sure. If I didn't have streaming, I think I would have just laid on the couch and just been so, depressed and sick. And knowing that I had to get up and turn on the camera every day and to knit and to not think about what I was going through, but to be asking people, how are you doing? What are you up to? What's new with you? It really helped get me through a lot.
Would you say that even people that think that they're just watching a stream or just chatting, that they have an impact more than they ever realize?
For sure. Yeah, they do. And, even the people who don't say anything in chat and just sit and lurk, they do so much as well. I mean, just having, when you're a broadcaster and you look and see how many people are watching, it's hard. If you see two people there, you're just like, I want to talk to you two people,
Yeah.
To know that two people are watching you, even if they don't want to talk, it just means a lot. That just them being there means a lot.
Oh yeah. To realize that because if I was to stay in my house, there'd be nobody else there. I have had my cat in my room and he's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, I saw your cat on your stream. That he's beautiful.
Oh, Chocolate. Oh, thank you. He is like a dog, and I enjoy like just be able to cuddle with him. He's just a cuddler.
My cats, when I sit down at my desk and start talking, they know a treat is coming soon, so they come running from every direction.
Chocolate's learning that because
Yep, you shake the bucket.
Yep. He's like, oh, is it time? Is it time? So what advice would you give someone wanting to start streaming?
I think they should go for it. As scary as it may seem to be on camera, and of course you don't have to be on camera, but I think it helps if you're going to build an audience. People want to see you. They want to see what your face looks like, and they want to see your expressions. So, if you can do it, have a face cam, and I think you should just do it. It's very, very challenging and rewarding, and you'll grow so much as a person.
Even for me as a viewer, when I'm watching a stream, if I see a face cam, I'm like, I can see how the person's going through in the day, and I can understand, like, when I talk with them, what's going on. I know some people do without face cams, but for me, I love the face cams because when I have a reaction, chat can see it.
I agree. People want to look you in the eye. They want to see what kind of a person you are. And if you're a genuine person, it is attractive. People want to hang out with you. It's weird.
You have mentioned gaming. How did you get into gaming?
I started gaming way back when, if you've ever heard of the game Myst.
Oh, yes.
I started playing that. I was never a gamer girl or anything, but I played that game and I couldn't get away from that game. I wanted to live in that world, and it was so much fun to learn how to play that game because there were no instructions. You just kind of had to fiddle around and try and figure things out, and it was just so much fun. So years go by, I get married to a gamer guy, and he keeps saying to me, I think you'd really like this game, this World of Warcraft. I think you'd really like it. And I'm like, no. I can't play anything that's hard. No, And he's like, no, I really think you'd like it. So one weekend we got the game out and he taught me how to get my character selected, and off we went into Elwyn Forest and killed boars. And I just tagged along and we started questing together, and so it kind of became our Friday night date night. We would get together on Friday nights and quest together, and then eventually we started I started a healer and he was playing a druid, and so we would start healing raids together, and we got invited to all kinds of different raids because they always needed healers, and that was our thing. We would just go heal raids on Fridays and Saturday nights. So then I got into it. Now I can't stop. And that's been like 10, 15 years later. I'm still playing.
Isn't that incredible that after so many years, we're still playing the same game?
It's amazing to me this game has lasted this long, for sure. If you would have told me I'd been playing WoW for 15 years, yeah, that's crazy.
Are you still raiding with your guild now?
Yes, I've changed guilds. There's always guild drama through the years, and guilds kind of fizzle out and for whatever reason. So I've been in a lot of different raiding guilds and have followed friends from guild to guild. And so I'm in a guild now that has a lot of my old friends in it and a lot of new friends. So it's been a real fun group to run around with.
Tell me a little bit about your current raid team.
I'm one of the healers. We usually have about between 20 to 25 raiders, and we raid on Tuesday and Thursday nights. It's just a lot of fun. They're super chatty and talkative. They don't make you feel bad if you screw up and you're laying dead over on the side in the fire. They don't make you feel stupid. They just are like, it's okay, just keep going. If you're having fun, just keep going. So I so appreciate not having that added pressure. But we do pretty good. I mean, we're going through heroic bosses now, and so we're doing pretty good.
How are you enjoying Nyalotha right now?
It's good. It's hard for me to remember what each boss does because they're either a dragon or a bug. So I can't remember. The raid leader will say, okay, we're going to go to Vexiona. And I'm like, what does that boss do? And I cannot remember what that boss does until I'm in the room where that boss is. And they pull the boss. And then I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's what that one does.
That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
But it's a fun raid. I think this will probably be my last raid tier. I've raided throughout the years, and I think I'm getting too old. I just can't respond as quickly as I used to. So I think I'll find other things to do in the game, but this will probably be my last raid.
Definitely not a bad one to be one of your last ones because it's been a fun expansion on the raid side.
It has. I've enjoyed it a lot, and just, learning this new system, the corruption system, and trying to figure out, what gear is good and, all the new things you have to learn. So it's been a lot of fun, and the raid has been a lot of fun.
And what would you say is one of your favorite gaming memories?
I have so many, it's hard to know exactly. Back in the day, back in vanilla, you didn't get to ride a mount until you were level 40.
Yeah.
And it cost 100 gold to buy your mount and get training to finally get to ride your horse. And I can remember where I was when I dinged 40 and I started shaking. I was so excited. Oh my God, as soon as I dinged 40, off I went, and I went and got my training and bought my cat mount. Oh, I was so excited. And to see the little footprints in the snow of the cat, I was just so happy. And it took months to get 100 gold.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm remembering my experience doing that. So what you're saying, I'm like, I remember that adrenaline because like now it's like, oh, okay, you got to 20, you can get your mount, but not back then.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a lot of fun. And then another one was in Mists of Pandaria. There's a daily quest where you start with a little baby cloud serpent. And he starts off just a little thing, just like he's the size of like a little companion pet. And then each day you do your dailies. And as you do them, he grows and grows and gets bigger and bigger. And then eventually you get to where he's as big as a cloud serpent mount. And you get to keep him. And I seriously started crying when I got him as my mount and I got on top of him for the first time and flew around with him. And I was just like, I raised you from a little puppy.
That's adorable.
It was so special.
Being able to personify a in-game mount to be something that
Felt
means,
like it was really mine.
yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Time has flown tonight, and I've had a great time, but I want to ask you one more question. In all of this, you've done so much, and you've created an amazing community. How do you overcome that voice in your head? The one that I like to call the imposter syndrome or the self-critique.
That's a good one because everybody feels that.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing, there's always that stupid little voice saying, "You can't do that. You're too dumb. You'll never figure that out." I just tell that voice to shut the heck up. That there's nothing I can't do. If I learn how to do it, I can do it, and nothing is going to stop me. I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do it.
I like that. There are days that I need to tell mine to shut up the same way, because I will let it feed me and I'll let it get me down and discouraged.
Yeah, that's so common. It's really hard to just keep plowing forward.
So I want to thank you for joining me on FrazlCast. Where can we find you on the interwebs?
Well, the best place is the Twitch channel. I don't do Twitter much and don't do a lot of the social media, but I do love to be on, obviously, Twitch. And we have a Discord server, so you can come hang out with us there. It's all, Jenny Knits. So easy to find.
I can see that Lucas is running on over to the Discord because they're like, knitting Discord, yes!
Yep. Once you get there, you can't talk for 10 minutes, but hang out with us. And you can share pictures of your pets and projects you're working on. And we talk about recipes and ghost stories and all kinds of fun things over in the Discord.
Ooh, ghost stories. What is your favorite ghost story?
I love paranormal shows. Don't get me started. We could do a whole podcast on that.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I love ghost investigation shows.
I've got a friend, Sai, who shouted home there was a footsteps in the attic that they've never been able to figure out.
Oh my God. That would scare me.
Me too.
Activating customized orchestrated transporter.
Well, I am back in my home of Ironforge until we one day reclaim Gnomergon.
Wow, I'm a gnome.
And can you believe that it's almost March already? That means it is time to look into Kilrock's site to see what is coming up next month.
Let's see what the wondrous, mysterious Kilrock site foretells of the upcoming events in Azeroth.
Thank you for joining us on Kilrock's site, the upcoming events for March in World of Warcraft. Dark Moon Fair starts March 1st to the 7th. Poor Morja has lost her Jub and was wondering if you can help find him. He loves Dark Iron Ale. To get the Dark Iron Ale, you need to travel to Blackrock Death, and it's sold by Plunger Sprazzling at the bar. I would say buy as many as you can, and what you don't sell, put on the auction house for other people. He usually has 10 at a time, and there's 5 on the table. I would say buy the 5 and then steal the 5 on the table because he gets very angry each time you take one. Go back to the Dark Moon Fair and find Jub. If he's too far from Morjad, the ale will despawn before he gets there. This happened to me. I then had to use a few ales to lure him to a path to Morja. Once he drinks the one by her feet, a quest will come up and you give her another Dark Iron Ale, which will reward you an unhatched jubbling egg. In 7 days, it will hatch, and now you have a new battle pet, Jub. Micro holidays coming up in March are Angora Madness, March 17th to the 19th. If you like big dinosaurs, well, I sure do. Come down to Angora Crater in Kalimdor and watch them roam around like you're in Jurassic Park. Now, if you think you're brave enough, there is some elites which can drop a dino mojo. When you use them, you never know what the results will be. Trial of Style, March 20th to 24th. Do you think you have what it takes to be the best and stylish person? Why don't you and a few friends try the Trial of Style? There's a few themes, and whoever's best dressed for that theme can win some Trial of Style tokens. You can use these tokens for transmog or items to decorate the stage to make you stand out more. The main holidays in March are no holidays. The weekly bonus event for March is Battle for Azeroth Dungeon event, March 3rd to 9th. Final boss in each current expansion dungeon will reward an extra item. Pick up the quest that requires you to complete 4 Mythic or Mythic Plus for an extra chance of getting an upgrade gear. Pet Battle bonus event, March 10th to the 16th. Triple the XP for pet battles. Quest is winning 5 level 25 PvP battle for an unlimited battle training stone. Time Walking Dungeon event, March 17th to the 23rd. Lich King needs to be level 81 or higher. Also will be able to have a 10 to 30 people to queue up for the Oldar raid in Northrend Dalaran. Finish 5 Time Walking Dungeon rewards you Azerite, Time War badges and currency for in-game things. You can find the vendor in the Northrend Dalaran. Arena Skirmish Bonus Event, March 24th to the 30th. 50% more honors rewarded when 10 arena matches rewards Azeroth and Conquest. World Quest Event, March 31st to April 6th. Get 50% more rep doing World Quests. Quest is to complete 20 World Quests and it rewards you Azeroth. Check out amazing events out for yourself. This is all for Killer Rock Site. Have a good night and have an amazing March of fun.
Thank you, Emma.
Let's look at what has been happening in the community.
Awesome. Let's do that. Do you remember a show called The Blue Recluse?
Here I come. I sense something elusive.
That show has been on hiatus for a bit, but Michael and Marty are 100% still alive. They've launched a new podcast called Two Nerds, Maybe More. It's about video game discussions between two nerds and maybe more. Like maybe a Frazley one episode? Nyalotha is in the bag, and the Shadowlands Alpha may be upon us, but Raider.io and Wowhead both chatted with people involved from Complexity Limit to Dratnos, who casted the race. I've got a link in the show notes where you can catch both interviews to get a behind-the-scenes look. And my friend Garrissar of Technically PvP got to sit down with David Hollings, the Arena World Championship Global Product Lead. They talked about the WoW 2020 esports announcement and what's coming this year.
This has been another awesome episode of FrazlCast. Take it away, Frazzlepants.
Thank you, Scruffy. And thank you to Jenny for coming on to FrazlCast this week. Definitely hope that we crafted a great yarn of enjoyment for you to listen to this week. My cats love yarn, and earlier this week, they got yarn all over the house again. I was on Character Craft episode 5, where I got to talk with Reagan Cuffy. This is a great episode, and I've enjoyed getting to know Reagan Cuffy more. They come into Twitch chat and make me eat dirty dishwater jelly beans. Love you both. Shout out to Lucas of Cardiac Valley Podcast. Lucas said that 146 was such a great episode. They said it was a really great discussion from a voice we don't get to hear much of. And I found out from Lucas, he has been listening since episode 20 and has seen all of the show's changes. Wow. Shout out to Spaz, who said, Star Wars reference. This is in response to the episode 146 where I referenced a line from Star Wars about sand. And shout out to Telleroid, who said that 146 was a great episode and that they were sad that they missed it live. That's what recordings are for. And Telleroid, I think you are earning some amazing frazzle-dazzles in my Twitch chat. And I've got some good news for you, Telleroid. I have lowered the reward requirements for the pizza, choosing my next game stream, and the famed tattoo. And in addition to thanking those who give me encouragement throughout the week by talking with me about things, and also any way that I connected with them, I also love to thank my Twitch subs out there. Thank you to Burkhart, Capo, Crunk, Harlow, Jendon, Lucas of Cardiac Valley, Michael of Genome Project, and Two Nerds Maybe More, Nihar, Odikens, Pandagosa, Pete of Project Phoenix Productions, Razarus, Break of Character Craft, Scissorlord, Telleroid, Thorn, Felicia, and Zortz the Goblin. And thank you to Capo for the bits this week. If you want to support the show financially, please go to support.gnomepodcast.com. Wait. I could do the usual spiel right here, but I want to play the awesome song by Mr. Scruffy of Viral Voice Arts. Here you go.
When a humble dwarf graced a ride along with Frazley of Gnomeregan, along came this song. From when the feed goes live, the cobalt-haired wonder, his army of subs, at his height they did ponder. They filled up the chat with comments and emotes. Our hero could barely keep up with what they wrote, while his novel hat fit his head like a glove. And so cried our Frazley, thanks for the sub. Toss a sub to your Twitcher and help him make money. Cheer bits by the 20. Oh. Toss a sub to your Twitcher with Prime, do it monthly.
Well, I am Frazley, and you can catch the show at gnomepodcast.com. There you can catch past episodes and find out many of the places where you can subscribe to this show, so that way the Gnome Train comes at you every week. Well, until next week, be awesome. And stay tuned for overly dramatic news and some voicemails from listeners like Capo and Valicia.
We all got down times in our game. We look to the future, a new adventure, we can be the champion. World of Warcraft is dangerous, Azeroth's erupting veins. Powers on necklaces, so tired of this grind, oh man. Such boring content, when can we begin again? I just heard the news, the Alpha for Shadowlands has launched and the testing begins. The Alpha for Shadowlands, the release draws closer, my friends. Optimism grows and our hope flows. Looking forward to our next chapter, the Alpha for Shadowlands. Baby, it's here.
In the game of horrific visions, N'Zoth begins to bluff. It's the overly dramatic news. I'm Hunts the Wind. While Stormwind and Orgrimmar have been the focus of Horde and Alliance efforts to push back the insanity being spread by N'Zoth, the old god has not hesitated to open a new front in the psychic battle. I've been receiving increasingly frantic messages from my relatives in Thunder Bluff that many there are experiencing terrifying nightmares that are causing mass insomnia in Mulgore. In describing these visions, Tauren sufferers are remarkably consistent in their accounts. The first thing they mention are the drums, pounding incessantly at a steady beat. All the nightmares are set in their homes, where they feel a strange compulsion to grab the broom that leans against the wall of all Tauren homes and attempt to stand it up in the middle of the room. Now, at this point, they babble on about gravity on a certain day or the alignment of Argus, which science has completely debunked. Now, when this subsides, they describe the final stage of the nightmare. The corn grinding bowl present in every house in the bluff comes to life and pursues them. They run in terror, but cannot find the door to escape. Just as the grinding stone is about to pummel them, they awake screaming, drenched in sweat. Tauren shamans say they have little defense against this assault, so if you plan on visiting Mulgore, be aware that the greatest threat you may face is your rhythmic, sweet dreams afraid of grits. Broadcasting across all Azeroth, I'm Hunts the Wind. Check out the archives at overlydramaticnews.com or follow me on Twitter at Hunts the Wind.
FrazlCast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. Views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard Games, and they are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended. This show is for the community, and it contains contributions from the community. The Gnome Train Intro is by Allie of Dungeon Fables and All Things Azeroth. The opening music is by Brandon T. Blaylock. The Gnome Roar is by Jen of Morally Grey Podcast, and the Frazzlepants bumper at the end is by the Scruffy Druid of Loot Optional and Viral Voice Arts.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.
It's been fun. Farewell!